I had a mentor once tell me like, hey, go find somebody with fruit on the tree and learn from them and let their ceiling be your floor. And so I started to bring in these people who have a ton of wisdom, who have been very successful in life, and we kind of capture their wisdom and present it to people who are trying to do the same thing.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews.
Hello, and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. I hope you're doing really well, and thank you very much for joining us today. And I'm very, very excited because I've been spending a little bit of time with my next guest talking about what we're going to be talking about on the show with you today. And with that being said, welcome to the show, Kyle Kunkel.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Richard. Excited to be here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you and I were just briefly talking about, where you live and things you like doing and some of the topics we're going to cover off today. So I guess it's a bit customary for us, Kyle, to start off by asking you, where are you actually calling in from?
Yeah, so I'm in Durango, Colorado, Southwest Colorado. We're about 7 hours from Denver, 7 hours from Phoenix, 5 hours from the Grand Canyon. So it's kind of a little hidden gem here, and a lot of outdoor activities, but it's one of the best places in the world, I believe.
Absolutely. To say that that's a beautiful location would be the understatement of the day. Would you agree?
I would say it's we get people from all around the world moving here. So
yes,
it's yeah.
Just amazing. Now, I'd love to talk a little bit about all of your professional background and your mastermind later on in the call. But before we do that, you're a dad. You're a husband, and you're committed to your family, and you love doing things with them. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, that side of your life. What do you enjoy doing?
Yeah, no, that's great. So I have my beautiful wife, Megan.
Yes.
We've been married for 8 years. We met in Georgia, actually, and then I could share how we got engaged, but that was in South Africa. And we travel. We've been to like 40-some countries combined. Haven't been to Australia, unfortunately, so that is on the bucket list.
The door is open if you ever need a place to stay. You can knock on our door.
Yeah. And then we have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and our 3-year-old just started preschool, and she is a firecracker and a lot of fun. And our 1-year-old is just super sweet. And as far as activities, what we like to do, we also have 2 dogs, so I mean, I guess that's
love it. Yep. What sort of dogs are they?
But yeah, they're German Shepherds.
Oh, beautiful. Big breed dogs. We're Rottweiler lovers ourselves.
Yeah, but they're sweethearts and not harmful at all. So.
No. They're big bears, aren't they?
They are. They really are. And then as far as what we like to do here, we like to hike. We like to fish, like fly fishing. We like to just adventure. We like to camp. We like to go paddleboarding, go out on the lake. What else do we like to do? I want to get into some hunting because that's big here. And
yes.
I'm not originally from here, so but my father-in-law and brother-in-law, they love to hunt, so I'm going to be doing that with them.
Okay.
Coming up here soon.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about powerboarding. You mentioned that, and I'm like, what is powerboarding? Is that where you've got a motor on this surfboard-looking thing?
No, so paddleboarding it's kind of been a thing that's been popping up. A lot of people do it on the river here or out in lakes, but it's really just basically a bigger surfboard that's inflated, and you have a paddle, and you just paddle, and it's really relaxing. It's not like some people fish off it, some people do like surfing off it. There's like waves and stuff that you can do from the river, but we don't do it like that. We mainly just go out and just relax. And
I actually thought you said powerboarding, so my apologies. Do you know the one I'm talking about with the surfboard?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible. Now, well, look, I know that you definitely have an active lifestyle, and I think that's really important. You also, in terms of your involvement with other sports, you're into coaching, both baseball and football. Tell us what it's like to be a coach.
Yeah. So love coaching, and I actually stepped away from it not too long ago just to focus on being with the girls and the family and all that. But it's a passion of mine. So, but I'm coaching in a different aspect. But as far as like football and baseball, I played baseball in college, played football and baseball in high school. And it's just something that I love to, I think you can learn a lot of life lessons through
Oh,
sports. And
yes.
so love kind of helping that next generation learn those life lessons and compete and all the things that you can learn from sports. And so, and I love to compete. I don't like to lose. So my wife and I, with board games, we're pretty competitive. And so anyways, yeah, so I love coaching. I'm not doing it currently anymore. I'm
Mm.
coaching like business coaching, but as far as
Yes,
like
yes.
football and baseball, I stepped away. But it is something I love to do and love giving back in that way. So
Thank you very much for sharing. Now, I know that there's a lot to be learned from team sports, and I can tell that you're definitely a team player. I've seen some of the work that you've done through your real estate side of things, but we'll talk about that more later. But I'd love to
yeah,
hear about your golfing. Tell us, are you any good at golfing, or are you a hacker like me?
I'm a hacker just like you. No, I would like to think that I'm good, but honestly, it is such a challenging sport, but one that you can play for a long time. And I like to think that I'm better than I am, but I'm really just a very, very average golfer, and do like to get out and enjoy and spend time with clients and friends
And live
and all
life.
that. But yeah, yeah. I mean, we live in a beautiful place, 300 days of sun, so
Oh,
it's a great place to get out in the
well,
mountains and play some golf. And the ball goes a little farther here than at sea level, so that's
oh,
kind of
there you
nice.
go. A bit of a strategic approach to golfing I've not heard about before, but there you go. I'd love to learn a
Yeah.
little bit about your fishing a little bit more. Is it primarily river fishing, and what type of fish do you like to go for when you go fishing?
Yeah, mainly fly fishing. So fly fishing on the rivers here. So the San Juan River and the Animas River and Dolores River, and there's a ton of rivers that are around here just because we get so much runoff from the mountains. They all kind of plug into the Colorado River, but there's phenomenal fishing and I mean, the best fishing is really rainbow and brown. I feel like in the area, and then fly fishing is so strategic and just so different than just throwing a spinner in there and just reeling it in.
Hoping.
So. Um, it's something that we enjoy doing, and we're trying to. My wife, we got like the how to learn how to tie flies,
Oh, yes, yeah, yeah.
and yeah, so we
That's a
just barely kind of getting through that. My brother does it a lot, and so but anyways, yeah, so we love getting out in the water, and it's just relaxing and quiet, and you can do floats or you can just go and wade or stand on the shore. So it's different. You could do high mountain streams, you could do high mountain lakes, you can do the river,
yep.
but people come from all around the world to fly fish the area and
Uh,
hunt. So
it's got
it's
everything,
definitely
doesn't it?
something. Yeah, it's kind of it's nice.
Now I know you're competitive, Kyle, and I have to ask you, what is cribbage? I've never heard of it.
Come on, you don't know what cribbage is?
No,
So cribbage,
sorry, I don't.
cribbage we'll have
I've
to
been
look it
living
up. So
under a
cribbage,
rock.
no. So cribbage is an older game. I think I really don't know the history on it. I probably should look it up, but I learned it from my dad, and my wife learned it from her dad. But it's really just it's a game with pegs, and you have little holes, and you got to go around basically. But it's a card game, and you get dealt seven cards, and you throw away two cards into kind of the
Yep,
whatever, like
the
the side
start.
pot.
Yep.
One of the players get the side pot every hand, but your goal is to make 15s, and so you got 7 and 8s, you got runs, and
Oh,
so there's different ways to get points, and then yeah, so it's a great little card game, and you can
sounds
it's
like fun.
yeah, it's strategy. We also like pinochle. I don't know if you heard of that.
No, I'm learning.
Um,
All these are all new to me.
yeah. So, anyways, they're fun games. They're fun card games, but they're a little older. I don't feel like many people our age actually play it.
Play
But
them? No, no. Well,
yeah, yeah,
that's fascinating. I absolutely love the fact that you love these types of games, and less of the computer games, as far as I'm concerned, because they can consume your whole life, can't they?
I agree. I agree. I mean, that's definitely I think a challenge with the generation coming up, and
Mm.
even my generation. I
Oh
got
yeah,
friends who
all
they're
all the time.
gamers, and
Yep.
there's but I think there is a place and time, and it does
Yeah,
consume a lot of people, and yeah, it's an
absolutely.
interesting topic.
You've got some focus in your life, and I can just imagine how much time you do focus on helping others. And again, we're going to be talking about that in a moment. But I'd love to touch on the travel that you've actually done. Where was the most memorable place for you, and where would you like to go still?
Those are great questions. I would say one of the most memorable places probably was South Africa. My wife and I, we did get engaged there, and so I do love that area. Um, I also really enjoyed the Philippines and Thailand. Um, those are great areas.
Yep.
So as far as places I would want to go, I want to go to Australia. I have a
Yes,
friend
sir.
there who's actually doing a hunting trip right now in Australia. Um, but what else? Whatever. I mean, Australia, New Zealand, kind of that area. I haven't ventured over there yet. Um,
Yeah, we got spiders as big as houses. Be careful.
I've I've
I'm
heard.
joking.
No, I know there's big spiders. My wife would freak out, but I would maybe try to catch them or something.
Oh,
You're
well, look,
laughing. You're like, you would
again,
never.
definitely, travel, creates, I guess, character in ourselves. Would you agree with that? And what do you think you've learned from different cultures?
No, that is I 100% I agree. I feel like, um, unfortunately, I know for Australians personally, because I've met a lot of Australians backpacking and just they're all around the world.
Hmm.
And it's an amazing thing that you guys have kind of created into your culture. And I feel like Americans don't get out enough out of
Hmm.
America,
Hmm.
unfortunately,
Hmm.
just to appreciate, what is here, but also just learn from other cultures and learn just the simplicity from cultures and hospitality and just the way of doing things different. And you can learn so much. I think you can learn so much from everybody. But yeah, when you travel and you get immersed into cultures and you really don't like just sit on a resort place and you actually get
Do
out and
nothing.
meet the people.
Yeah, yep.
And yeah,
Walk,
yeah, but you
walk
get
the
out and meet the
streets.
people, walk the streets and go to the bakeries and go to the marketplaces and just interact with
Yeah,
the
yep.
people. It's a truly riching experience for anybody. So yeah, I think that um, the biggest thing that you probably take away is just appreciating other people and just where they're at and what they do and how they live life. And I think everywhere is kind of different. There's similarities based on regions, but yeah, it's really neat.
I do recall when I was in Mauritius meeting, going to the temples and meeting all the religious folk doing their thing, and I just was so immersed in it. Now I know that you're a man of God, and you have that in your life. Tell us how important that is for you, and how big a part that plays.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Knowing Jesus and having that relationship, and I know there's a lot of amazing things out there, like having families and growing your business,
Mm.
and your wife and traveling, and there's so many amazing things in life. But to be honest, like the best thing that's ever happened to me is knowing Jesus and having that relationship and being grounded in that way, and that's been a key to a lot of our travel. So we've done a lot of mission work and connecting with orphanages and building and all kinds
Oh
of stuff.
wow.
So that's a part of a lot of the reason why we have traveled. So, but yeah,
It brings me to my next question, Cole. You wake up of a morning and you said in your bio that you wait for the instruction essentially throughout the day from Jesus and what's going to be my path today. And since then, I've noticed that you've created so many fantastic videos and done a lot of that sort of side of things. Is that natural for you to get in front of a camera? Because I know it's not for a lot of people.
I feel like, yeah, it's part of, I mean, I wouldn't say natural. I mean, it's always a little uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Um, and it's not like I grew up in theater or,
Things like
all of
that.
that.
Yep.
I did major in communication and I've done, some preaching and communicating in that way. So that does make it easier, I feel like. But it's something that you're always growing in. Um, but yeah, no, I feel like, hearing from God is just, it's practicing, hearing the voice of God, and it's something that God speaks to you, everybody in kind of different ways.
Different ways.
Sometimes they'll give you a picture, sometimes they'll give you a word. It's almost like if I were to tell, and I just heard this analogy the other day, so I'm going to use it, but it's almost like if I told you to think of a pink alligator, like imagine picturing a pink
Yep.
alligator, you're like, oh, okay. Everybody right now is imagining a pink alligator. And in that side of your brain is like, I feel like sometimes how God speaks to us.
Hmm.
And it's almost like a movie theater that he's kind of just like portraying certain things when you're praying for people or just for your day or whatever it is. And that's the same type of, some people are expecting to hear from God in like an audible voice, as if it's like Moses and saying burning bush status and just saying, oh, thou shalt do this and thou shalt do that. And that's not how it always works. If, especially for believers, like, oh, why am I not hearing from God? And it's like, God's always speaking, even when we're sleeping. It's not like he stops. That's why a lot of people dream. But I feel like it's like just a movie that's playing, and once you realize, like, oh, that's God, that
is his
area
message.
in my brain, that's a way that he can speak to a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, oh, like, that's been there forever. I've noticed that forever. I just didn't know that. And
he's certainly omnipresent. He's everywhere all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, amen. Everywhere.
Amen. So look, thank you again for sharing this wonderful call. I wonder what a day looks like for you, Kyle. Do you get up early? Are you an early riser? I'm certainly not.
I am, yeah. I do get up fairly early, and I have a pretty strict routine that I've created that I feel like has led to a lot of success in business and life and in all aspects of my life. And that's part of the mastermind, and part of how we help people and help some of our clients and stuff like that is just creating that morning routine. So
yes, great. And again, we're going to be talking about all the aspects of your mastermind shortly. But from I guess another side of your life, what do you do throughout the day? What is your main focus right now?
Yeah, so I sell real estate. That's a lot of what I do. We focus on luxury real estate in our area. And through that, we've also started syndicating deals and helping people find multifamily deals, and helping friends and family and clients and creating a way to create passive income for them. So a lot of what we do, probably like 70% of what we do is real estate based.
Fantastic. And again, this is where I got this idea about all of your videos, because I've watched a handful of them, and they're captivating, and some of the properties that you get involved with are just breathtaking. I guess there's no other word to put to it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I work with a developer here, and he's actually from Denmark, and he's got a pretty phenomenal story as well. We should get him on your show. But
absolutely.
Yeah, he's actually is from Denmark originally, and so a lot of our homes have a Scandinavian feel to them, more modern luxury. But there is also a mountain modern touch to them as well.
Yep.
And a lot of the homes are built more efficiently, which can be challenging for Americans, because Americans need 8,000 square feet and need to feel like. So anyways, but it's the simplicity of the living and really taking the outdoors and bringing it in. So we use a lot of glass in our designs and building and stuff like that. So it's a way to enjoy nature but still be inside, and just bringing it into the house. And a lot of times we just put up a bunch of walls. At least here, people just put up a bunch of walls, and you're missing out on why we're living.
Yeah. Yeah, that's existing. Now, I know that you do a lot of open plan layouts and lots of, as you've mentioned, glass walls with views and the likes. Now, what's popular at the moment, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I mean, open concept here, in-floor heating. Indoor outdoor living is a huge thing. So all of our houses have the glass that opens up, or accordion ups.
Yep.
And it goes out into the patio, and then the patio has space, and it's like people really love that indoor outdoor feel. And so that's a big thing. And then just the simplicity of the homes. I feel like people are starting to gear towards more maybe energy efficiency in homes, and also more, maybe not 5,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet. So there is a place for that, and some people like that. But I feel like the average, person is wanting something, 2,500 square feet is more than enough for people now. Yeah. So, but it just depends on, everybody's different. Every client's so different. It's kind of fun. So, but yeah, a lot of the material we use in the home, we don't just put stuff in home that's going to, need to be replaced in 5, 7, 10 years. We put stuff that will last potentially someone's life.
Yeah.
30, 40 years. So we use Galganal appliance, which is a German appliance. It's kind of like the Maserati of appliance. We use
Mm-hmm.
multi-form, which is the cabinetry, and it's handcrafted from Denmark. And so you have, you know, black oak, white oak, red oak, brown oak. So we it depends on, and we also have big tiles in the bathroom, big 5 by 9 foot tiles from
Love it.
Italy. And so, yeah, it's a fun feel to each house, and every house is positioned perfectly based on the building envelope and where the sun rises and sets, and there's so many things that go into creating a home and creating a space that, is someone wants to be at and like live
Yeah,
for
fantastic.
generations.
Thank you again for sharing, Carl. I really appreciate it. Now, this is probably a really good dovetail into the other side of your life where, you focus on helping people through your mastermind. Let's talk about that. Now, what is this all about?
Yeah, no, great question. So, I came to a point in my life where I realized, like, there's more than just making money, because I've worked with a lot of people who make a good amount of money. And there's more there's more to life than just that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized that, I had a mentor once tell me, like, hey, go find somebody with fruit on the tree and learn from them and let their ceiling be your floor. And so that's what I've done in every aspect of my life. And so realize that wisdom is more precious than jewels. And so I started to bring in these people who have a ton of wisdom and who have been very successful in life. And we kind of capture their wisdom and present it to people who are trying to do the same thing or trying to accomplish the same thing. And I had a mentor once tell me, like, hey, there's different aspects in your life. You have your spiritual, I like to call them buckets. You have your
Yep.
spiritual
Yep.
bucket, your mental bucket, your physical bucket, and your financial bucket. And each one of these buckets need to be full, but not just full and overflowing, so they can overflow and to the ones you love and the friends and generations to come. And so I believe that there's systems and processes and things that you can build into each one of these buckets to constantly keep them full. And so our mastermind course helps people do that. Um, at the highest level of the mastermind course, we also have, options where people bring specific deals to the table. So you have like private placements, companies that aren't public yet, but they have an opportunity to become a part owner in it.
Yep.
You also have real estate multifamily deals that are brought to the table. And if you're looking to get a safe return on your investment, there's that option. But the core of the mastermind is, there is the financial piece of it, but the core is also, the spiritual piece, the mental piece, and the physical
The
piece. So there's
buckets.
courses. That. Yeah, yeah. And so, I came from very humble beginnings and didn't grow up with a lot. And so I used to have this kind of skewed view on finances and what, wealthy people or rich people were. And so I've had to kind of struggle through that. There's a certain point in my life where, we were living in a tent as a family and a
Mm-hmm.
family of six. And so it was something that, I've had to almost battle with, and also like
Yep.
seeing
Yep.
true poverty all across the world. And so really taking all these different aspects of my life and bringing it into something that I feel like is healthy and something that is truly a gift and a tool that you can really give back to people. So that's really what we do with our clients and really just friends is we help them full circle. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what
You,
it is. Yeah.
you definitely have the philanthropic sense about you as well. You've obviously done your work that we spoke about earlier, but what type of people are best suited for the mastermind, do you think?
Yeah, great question. So I would say anyone who's inspiring to be an entrepreneur, maybe you got a side hustle and you're trying to, figure out how to take it to that next level of being completely, quitting your job, quitting the 9 to 5 and creating that freedom for your life. It's also business owners, entrepreneurs, medical professionals, people who are having a lot of success, but maybe they're missing out in a certain aspect of their life. They just know that there's got to be more to life than what there is, or
There is.
maybe they got into business and they thought like, oh man, I'm going to create all this freedom. But they just created another job and now they work 80 hours a week instead,
Yeah.
and so it's a way to help create freedom for those people, in different avenues. And so, there's the real estate avenue and there's investing avenue and there's, putting the right people and systems in place to actually give you that freedom that you really want. So I would say anybody who's aspiring to be a business owner or is currently a business owner, or maybe you've been semi-successful or even mega successful,
Yep.
there's kind of a place for everybody. So
I like this because you're not just talking wealth as being financial wealth. You're talking spiritual wealth, physical wealth. There's a real approach as like a balanced approach. Would that be fair?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something that I feel like they all kind of build off each other, and there are pieces that, there's people I've seen who have a lot of success in one area, but they're kind of missing out in this other area,
Mm.
and it kind of throws things off. And they are eventually kind of setting themselves up for some type of failure, whether that's in their marriage or whether that's in, their business or something. And I'm not like saying that's always the case,
No,
but,
no.
you know, when you have these pillars, it's almost like you have the cornerstones and you have all the corners of the house. It's like, man, all these places are there so that the foundation is there so you can build properly.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, is this it's essentially a mentorship role in this as well? How important are, I guess, ongoing relationships, and how long do those relationships last for somebody to start seeing results in their life and their business and finance and all the rest of it?
Yeah, no, great question. I think that, yeah, it's all about the relationship. It's all about the mentorship, and it's really about putting your arm around somebody and walking with them through life and helping them take that next step or that leap or
Yeah.
going to that next level. But yeah, it's. I mean, as far as results, you can start seeing results in your mental state right away,
Mm.
and just through our morning kind of routine of what we do, it really helps people just launch into other successes in their life. So just that aspect alone, like I would say within a couple of weeks, you start to, I mean, within the next couple of days, you feel like, wow, there's something energizing about
There's
this.
something
There's
about
something,
this.
yeah, there's something right. Like this is good. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, so when people come to you, Kyle, they'd be at a certain place in their life and their finances, their physical self, their spiritual self, all of the elements that we've talked about, the buckets. How do you do an audit on them? How do you know where they are and how do you know where to meet them to help them progress from that point?
Yeah, great question. So we just do a free, evaluation. We take 20, 30 minutes and just evaluate where that person's at. We have them answer some questions, and it's a place where they can be as vulnerable as they want, or they just kind of answer the questionnaire and boom, they now we know have at least somewhere to start. So yeah, it's the questionnaire, and then we do the call, and then it's just if it's something they want to move forward with or something they want to make a part of their life. So,
So
but yeah,
what's
everybody's in a different spot.
Absolutely, yes. Halfway down the street, all the way down the street, and everything in between. Now, I'm just
Yeah,
wondering, Kyle, is this an online delivery process or do you meet face to face? How does it work?
it is. It is. So it is online. You jump into the course and you can take the modulars and do all that. So there is the online course. You also have, different levels. We do private mastermind Zoom calls where we have a guest speaker come and speak, and then everybody there is kind of able to ask Q&As, and that's recorded and that gets pushed out to kind of the lower level. And then at the top level, we do have a couple in-person masterminds
Hmm.
where we get these high net worth individuals together, and we have one coming up here in October. Out here, it's a beautiful time to come because
Yes,
it's
wow.
colder weather. You got the leaves changing colors. They actually have a highway called the $1 Million Highway that goes through here into Silverton and
Beautiful.
Telluride, and so yeah, it's a great time to be here. But yeah, there is a little bit of everything depending on where you fit at and what makes sense for you.
I bet you there are some people on the call right now, Kyle, saying to themselves, well, how do I get access to this? And how do I get started? I'm looking for some help. So what is the process and where are they going to find you?
Yeah, so if you just go to barefruitlife.com
Hmm.
and you just send us your email, you'll get that first initial questionnaire sent to you guys, and then you'll get the set up a call with us, and then we'll kind of just see where you guys fit. We don't want to force anybody into one area. You could just go in and sign up for a certain section, but usually we like to see like, hey, where are you at? What makes sense for you? We don't want to put you into a financial situation where it doesn't make sense, or
Yep,
maybe
yep.
you're undercutting yourself and saying like, hey, you're in a solid place. Let's get you to where it's really going to make a difference in your life. So, but yeah, the Barefoot Life, and bear spelt like raw bear, like
Yeah.
BEAR,
Well, look,
and then
Barefoot
I
Life.
promise.
Now, if you've been on this call throughout this call, you would understand how much fun this is likely to be for you, no matter where you are on your path. Certainly, there is something there for you in barefootlife.com. I'll be making sure that the links back to Kyle and all of his wonderful work in the Mastermind are available to you. And with that being said, Kyle, I've had a really fun time having you on the show today. Thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Appreciate the time, Richard. Appreciate, just the energy and just the questions, and they were great. So I appreciate you.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.